Hey, what's happening, Gotham Knights? Welcome to my new series talking about villains I want to see in Gotham Knights Part 1. But before we get to that, if you're excited, smash that like button. Yes, I said series! We have way too many baddies to go over for each of the 4 heroes, so each one is getting its own video. Mind blown. Today is all about the foes that could challenge Nightwing in Gotham Knights. But first, a word from our sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends, the most popular free-to-play mobile game of 2019, now available on your PC, so you can get your medieval action fix wherever you are. Raid Shadow Legends plays like this. Take a group of your heroes and fight a wave of bad guys leading to boss battles. Yes, that is indeed a dragon. You don't look happy with you. Tired of battling through the story mode, itching for some interaction with other raiders? Raid's got you with a meaty PvP option. They are also constantly balancing champions to make online fights more competitive, if you're into that kind of stuff. With over 500 champions to collect, everyone will find a hero that suits their playstyle and then some. You know me, I'm more partial to Dark Knights. But until I managed to summon the level 60 Bannerlord Horden, Dark Elves have been very accommodating to me. Though let's face it, once I score some cool knights, I'll be sacrificing the elves to power up my new champions in the tavern. What? Don't look at me like that. Sacrifice is 100% legal and encouraged in this game. Rank up your champions by stealing the souls of others, like high school. Or you can use this chalice thingy to power them up. Remember to visit the portal to summon new champions. Then rank up your hero and challenge the raid community in various tournaments. Pro tip, remember to add and level up artifacts to your champion, and once you unlock the forge, use it! You can find me in-game under this name. The Dark Knight wasn't available for some reason. What are you waiting for? Hit up my link in the description and earn these cool in-game rewards. By clicking the chest icon there. You'll also get this sick new character, Hexweaver. By the way, guys, please check the description because you'll find a special live goal widget that's working in real time and counting our results. Also, if you will participate, you have a chance to find your own nickname there. Alright, so listen, this video has gone through a lot of revision. Okay, fine, it's a complete overhaul. So, it's now a mini-series, which, yay for you, but now I think I know the direction that Gotham Knights team is going with the 2021 Batman Family game, which means I'm yeeting a bunch of villains that would have worked for my first idea, which was Gotham Knights as kind of a spiritual sequel to Arkham Origins and the New 52 in general. For the most part, this is a brand spanking new list, and some of you have never heard of any of these villains. Epic. Warning, the following video is likely to contain spoilers for bad guys that may appear in this Batman game. Because yes, I'm that good at predicting stuff. Look at my track record. So leave now and come back after the game releases so you don't get ruined. In the comment section below, tell me what villain you would like to see appear in Gotham Knights. Okay, so let's get into this. Those of you expecting to see popular characters like Joker and Scarecrow, get used to disappointment. I will only be covering baddies that have worked well in these 4 heroes solo books. That's right, Babs, Tim, Jason, and Dick Grayson all had special characters they fought in their respective comic runs over the years. Amazingly, some were even written by Scott Snyder, one of the core writers of this Gotham Knights game. Even some pre-52 Grayson Batman book stuff. Neat! Just so you know, many of the Nightwing's villains that I picked for this video come courtesy to the books that the Gotham Knights team said they were inspired to make this game. Such as Dick Grayson's Agent of Spiral run by Tom King, The Prodigal by Chuck Dixon, and let's not spoil the other one till the end of this video. Don't skip ahead or I will batarang your pet. I'm not kidding. You already know the Court of Owls is going to play a key role in the game, right? They'll also probably mess with Dick a lot in some pretty unique ways. Possibly mind control, who knows? Especially going by the recent comic arc involving Grayson. But let's kick off with Two-Face, shall we? Yes, I said Two-Face. While old Harv may appear to be a Batman villain per se, in reality Harvey changed to Grayson's biggest threat in 1987. See, Harvey developed a deep-seated hatred for the first Robin. And no, it's not just because Dick was, spouting off his mouth. making fun of Harvey's multiple faces and personalities. No, it has to do with some really interesting, complex mental things. No, I'm serious. Harvey was so ticked off that Batman would enlist the help of a child into his war on crime that Two-Face became the ultimate reality check for the young sidekick and his tenure as Robin, nearly killing Dick in front of Batman numerous times, causing Robin to fail in front of his mentor. Plus, Harvey would like to play a fun game and make insane odds for Robin to choose from, with his death traps, such as save Batman or let an innocent civilian die. Whoa. Later, DC would lighten the Two-Face encounters a little bit, and sometimes Harvey would be kind of like a Scooby-Doo crazy villain. I would have killed Batman if it wasn't for that meddling Robin. But for the most part, each run-in with Two-Face for Robin was no game at all. One could make an argument that Harvey took too many hits to the head, and that's kind of why he believes all Robins are the same kid that taunted him back in the heyday. Chuck Dixon really went on to explain this in the 90s Robin and Nightwing books a bit more. Eventually, Dick would get closure during the Batman Prodigal storyline. A great read, by the way. Fantastic storyline. See, since Two-Face is Batman's first failure, which I'm sure many of you guys know that, Harvey gave Robin his baptism by fire, if you will, and first failure to match his mentors. Not sure if anyone knew this or not, but in Batman Year One, Harvey was Batman's first partner, not Robin or Commissioner Gordon. So part of his rage toward Robin has to do with him being simply replaced. A trait which was later used by DC Comics Batman writers for Jason Todd hating on Tim Drake for no reason other than that. This rivalry between Dick and Harvey eventually made it to the big screen in Batman Forever, with Harvey Dent being the killer of Robin's parents. Which, yeah, the filmmakers switched up, which Robin Two-Face killed the parents of, because in the comics it was Jason Todd's dad, but in the 1995 movie it was Grayson's whole family. Whoa. Harvey in Gotham Knights setting would be a little lost without Batman, but not too much. He could still be a threat to the four younger heroes. He also would have some loose ends to tie up, mainly killing Nightwing, Jason, and Tim, before becoming like the crime don of Gotham or something. Batgirl never really flew enough on his radar, so she'd most likely be safe, unless he just kills her for the sake of, the crowd she hangs out with. So I think Harv's story could focus on any of those characters, but Nightwing would be a more compelling and interesting, emotional-driven connection between the two. Also, no, Two-Face would not be robbing any banks as a side mission. He would have a whole story arc. You're welcome. Which would eventually lead to an epic confrontation near the end of the game. But he wouldn't be the final baddie. He would just be like the biggest side boss character. Next up, Deathstroke. Yeah, I know, an easy one that makes a lot of sense. Everyone loves Slade Wilson. It's a fact of life. But what many Batman fans don't really know is Deathstroke is not really a Batman rogue. He's Nightwing's arch nemesis for over 30 years. Some of you may recall Slade messing with Grayson in the Titans cartoon show of the early 2000s on Cartoon Network, so you understand why this character would be a great bad guy for Dick to battle. But I'm really not going to do a full dive into Slade Wilson's reasons for hating on Grayson, so if you want to see that video, well, help this one get 3,000 likes, or Deathstroke will win. If you're wondering how Slade would work in the game, well, he would kind of be like a side or submission character and epic boss battle for Nightwing, and only Nightwing. While he might appear to mess with other characters throughout the game, only the Nightwing player would get to fight Deathstroke. How's that for pretty epic? He would also have a lot of little cameos where he would taunt Grayson over the radio and cause trouble throughout Gotham, taunting you to stop his assassinations and test your skills as a detective, solving some intense homicide cases. I definitely want more detective-driven elements in Gotham Knights, so that's kind of why I'm bringing it up here, which is no relation to the villains I want, and you know what? It's my video, so I'm going to do what I want. Detective stuff. You're welcome again. Also, I would want him to have some jump scares against Nightwing, like grabbing him from the shadows, or jumping onto his bat cycle and just like beating the snot out of him. You have to admit, that would be pretty awesome. I don't know how they would really do that, but who cares? Make it happen. My main reason for including Slade is my love for the character in Teen Titans and his epic boss battle in Arkham Origins. You know what I'm talking about. If any company is to make use of Slade Wilson again, I think WB Games is perfect for that opportunity. Also, I would want his reappearance to be a bigger threat for Gotham Knights 2, or, hear me out, a Nightwing spin-off game. Maybe Slade wouldn't be in all the arcs of Gotham Knights, but he would tease players for something bigger on the horizon. And I know you're dying to know this. How would Slade fit into the whole story of the game? Well, he could have been hired by either the Court of Owls, Blockbuster as a cameo, which ties into Nightwing's history from Bloodhaven, or Two-Face could have, hired him to take Grayson out of the picture. Slade is a simple man. Pay him up front and the job will be completed, or your money back. Wait, does he give refunds? Side villain, Killer Croc. Wallen Jones was a fan favorite in the Arkham series. Let's be honest. He also appeared in Arkham Origins, so WB Games Montreal likes the character too, so I would say that it's not a stretch that he's going to appear in some capacity. How I think the character would work is Jones would just be a normal side boss fight that Nightwing and any of the other characters could deal with in the game. While Killer Croc hates the Bat Family equally, he does have a soft spot of hatred for Dick and all his bad jokes about him, his skin condition, and the fact that he looks like, well, a crocodile man. When Dick was Robin, he talked a lot. He's very chatty. It's part of his charm. But Croc isn't a fan of that at all. Also, it's not the greatest that all the Robins kind of molded their personality and punny jokes, basing it off what Dick Grayson did as his time as Robin. So it kind of made like a giant bullseye on Robins as a target for a lot of Gotham baddies. Side mission villain, Nightwing. I know. Some of you are probably going to be pretty confused about this, but hold on one sec. This is actually a favorite kind of bad guy of mine during Chuck Dixon's run of the 90s. Tad Ryerson, a Nightwing fanboy turned into Incredible Syndrome wannabe, but not really a major threat. I mean, Dick takes him down pretty quick, but he did have an interesting arc in the comics and killed a bunch of people, so makes him a bad guy, right? Also, he's basically like a clone of Nightwing, kind of, but I don't know. He'd be like a funny villain outside of the whole murder thing. So in the game, he would be a simple side mission, and you would defeat him pretty easily, no matter who you are. He'd be holding cops hostage, or maybe like government workers, once or twice before you finally arrest him. Side mission, Clue Master. Well, I'm pretty confident Riddler is going to appear and troll everyone again because, people love to hate the Riddler, so it's a given. It would be really fun if each of the four heroes had their own Riddler-like character to make the experience more catered to the player and pretty special depending on who you chose to play as. For Babs, it would be Oracle 2. See her Batgirl of Burnside books. Robin, you could get Ulysses or the General from Chuck Dixon's time. That would be fun. Jason, I'm not really sure for Jason. I guess Riddler or maybe Prankster? What about Crazy Quilt? Yeah, that would be great. But Clue Master doesn't use riddles. He uses clues as hints. And yes, I know. You're going to say, but wait, K-Wing. Arthur Brown is Tim Drake's foe because he's the father of Stephanie Brown. Yes, I know that, but what you don't know is Clue Master was a favorite for writer Chuck Dixon and appeared on both the Nightwing and Robin runs of the 90s. So he could be a villain for either one of them. I think it'd be cool for him to appear in the game as something fresh and new and give Riddler a break. If anything, it's going to be Riddler. Come on, let's face it. He hates Batman as much as he hates the Bat Brats, but I can dream, okay? So he would be a side mission for Nightwing and Tim to deal with, hopefully hinting at Spoiler's existence as possibly DLC for the game. Sakio, another ninja assassin, K-Wing? Why? Okay, 1, ninjas are cool, and 2, you can never have too many ninjas in a Batman story. Remember that. While I did say no to the Court of Owls stuff in this video, that doesn't discount Talon, or rather, Talons, or wannabe Talons. Hence, Sakio. So this copycat, if you didn't know, Dick had his own personal talent of sorts that nearly killed him in the New 52. Though not a talent officially, Sakio is the former best friend of Dick Grayson and was raised by the Court of Owls to become a trained killer. Though not as talented as Grayson, Raymond was the second best of the circus that, Dick grew up at. And since Bruce Wayne had adopted Grayson, Ray was selected to become his generation's assassin. So during the time that the Gray Son of Gotham was squire to the Batman, Ray was enduring Court of Owls boot camp, where he was tortured, went through mind control, and intense weapons training to become the court's hand of justice. While it's not really known why he quit the Court of Owls, they probably tried to dispose of him, and they chose William Cobb to be the successor once again. Raymond has a deep-seated hatred for both Dick Grayson and the Court of Owls, and he would make for an interesting side story for Dick Grayson or a younger Robin. Since both are acrobats, it would be a very unique boss battle where the player would have to utilize agility, basically like fighting a mirror of Dick Grayson or the ninjas from the ARKHAM games. So more or less, one thing I would do in the game as well is he would be a former agent of the Court of Owls, attack Nightwing at key points during the story. In Gotham Knights, he would be the protege of William Cobb, so he would kind of be like this side character the court didn't really know about, so his story would change just a little bit, and Nightwing's great-grandfather would want his former friend to kill his grandson, or would it be great-grandson? Also, true to beat-em-up fashion, how players would be introduced to Sakio, he would appear in waves of talons and eventually fight Nightwing one-on-one a few times until he was defeated. Because I like dramatic things, I would have the character fall to his death and disappear so that it could lead way for him coming back in a sequel. See what I'm doing? I'm trying to plant seeds so that more stuff can happen in future games, because that's what works with that. More side villains that I would have Nightwing interact with, personally in his story. Penguin would be an overall villain who's most likely going to appear in the game, and he would have 4 different story options based on the hero you're playing. Whether you choose Nightwing, Batgirl, Jason, or Robin, there's going to be some type of differences in conversation that the characters would have. That's how I would do it. I'm pretty sure all the characters will have the same generic banter, but that's where I would go, because Nightwing has had a lot of run-ins with Penguin, and as a fun joke character, it would definitely be Crazy Quilt, who has a huge vendetta against the first Robin, and of course Nightwing. And that's it, that's all. What? You want something else? Really? Okay, but you'll have to help me out by clicking like now. Well, deal's a deal. DLC time! Oh yes, there's DLC. DLC story, KG Beast. Yes, I said DLC story for Nightwing. Wouldn't it be dope? Now, we all remember how Dick got crappy DLC in Arkham Knight, right? Well, I'll never forget it, and neither will my door. But that's besides the point. What if in this world, KG Beast becomes Nightwing's Bane, just like in the current DC Comics? Originally never a Nightwing bad guy, I know, but things are changing over at DC to give Slade a run for his money as Nightwing's arch enemy in 2021. So let me give you a little bit of background, okay? KG Beast is not really well loved by Nightwing fans anymore after Batman issue 55, where more or less he put an end to Dick Grayson for almost 2 years by shooting him in the head. It's one of the most terrifying and intense scenes in Batman comics in the past probably 40 years, because you're not expecting it. Nightwing gets cut off mid-sentence by KG's bullet. So, I mean, it's pretty intense. Now, in 2021, from what I've heard, is KG Beast's reputation is ruined because Nightwing survived the assassin's bullet, and he's going to come to destroy Nightwing so he can get his street cred back. So it harkens all the way back to issue 55, which is not my favorite Batman issue, but I'm not going to lie, like my heart sank in my chest when that scene happened, because I am a Grayson fan. Okay, fanboy, if you want to get technical, but so you can see a reason for these characters not really liking each other. And in the Gotham Knights game, I would actually have a similar fate befall Nightwing. Maybe he wasn't shot in the head, but maybe he got seriously injured and he has like a deep resentment for the Russian assassin. I think that would work out really well. If they do like the headshot thing, then that's going to give the game an M rating, like right off the bat. So he could be like shot in the chest or somewhere else. You don't even have to show where he's shot and just have him, he was in recovery and he's got like this deep resentment toward this character. I think that would work really well. And it would also introduce more people to the idea that, hey, wait a second, maybe Slade isn't really the big bad that Nightwing wasn't able to defeat. So anyway, if DC could build this story up between the characters, it would make next year's comics sell like hotcakes, because KG Beast is going to be included a lot more in the Nightwing books, at least for a while after the whole DC Future State thing. So it would sell more issues if people saw the character become more mainstream in the Batman and Nightwing books, as well as in this game. So in the Gotham Knights DLC, it would be a 2-hour story, like the famous Mr. Freeze Arkham Origins thing, but have Nightwing and the team trying to stop the Russian killer from wiping out the new leaders that have taken over Gotham. So politicians and community people, inspiring lights, if you will, and it would take place 6 months after the end of the game. So it would be a little bit of a time skip. Though Dick would have some misgivings dealing with KG Beast, I'd give him a little bit of maybe a panic disorder, or like something happens, like he has a panic attack fighting the guy, which makes it not so much a cakewalk like the rest of the game. There'd be a little bit more stakes involved. Maybe somebody from his personal life, like Barbara or somebody, would be targeted, and he would really have to step it up. Who knows? Whatever the writers want to do, I think it'd be great if Scott Snyder handled the penmanship for this, because he understands the Nightwing character. More so than Tom King and some of the others. Also, I think the DLC would work best during the winter, and the final fight would tease a Nightwing solo spin-off game. And now we're done. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to help support this channel, check out our sponsors, Raid Shadow Legends, link in the description below, and download the game. That way, I can also secure more sponsorships because, well, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Because of some of the things I did in this video by showing DC Comics related visuals and images, it's been most likely demonetized right now. So if you want to also help out the channel, consider hitting up our Teespring store. We have lots of exciting new shirts. Or you could become a member of this channel. A little bit goes a long way to keeping me off the street. And you want to keep me off the street, right? So you get more videos like this. Anyway, I will see you guys with part 2 of the villains I want to see in Gotham Knights with Batgirl next time. Thanks so much for watching, people. Later, Gothamites.